Welcome to excerpts from the Gospel of Selfless Action, or the Gita, according to Gandhi, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi Vegetarian, the man who came to be known as the father of the nation in India, or Mahatma Gandhi Ji, Vegetarian, was an exemplary spiritual practitioner and visionary leader of India. Born in 1869, this passionate servant of humanity first became a lawyer. However, he felt a different calling from within as he discovered a fervent wish to improve the lives of all people. The beloved Mahatma Gandhi Ji, Vegetarian, sometimes spoke about desired changes in government and would meditate and fast to encourage a nonviolent and beneficial outcome. He thus became an example of peaceful change for an entire country. Throughout Gandhi's life, the great teachings of the Bhagavad Gita served as his constant reference for living a moral and spiritual life. The Gita consists of 700 verses of scripture found in the Hindu epic, the Mahabharata. It is told as a series of conversations between Lord Krishna and Prince Arjuna. Its main message is to work without being attached to the results of one's effort. The Gospel of Selfless Action, or the Gita according to Gandhi, by Mahadev Desai, presents Mahatma Gandhi Ji's vegetarian, profound interpretations of the Gita. According to Gandhi, the Bhagavad Gita is a great religious poem. The deeper you dive into it, the richer the meanings you get. With every age, important words will carry new and expanding meanings, but its central teaching will never vary. The seeker is at liberty to extract from this treasure any meaning he likes, so as to enable him to enforce in his life the central teaching. Today, we are pleased to present Mahatma Gandhi's profound reflections on the Bhagavad Gita, the Gospel of Selfless Action, or the Gita according to Gandhi. We thus see that to be a real devotee is to realize oneself. Self-realization is not something apart. 1 rupee can purchase for us poison or nectar, but knowledge or devotion cannot buy us either salvation or bondage. But such knowledge and devotion, to be true, have to stand the test of renunciation of fruits of action. Mere knowledge of right and wrong will not make one fit for salvation. But the Gita says, no one has attained his goal without action. Even men like Janaka attained salvation through action. If even I were lazily to cease working, the world would perish. How much more necessary then for the people at large to engage in action? While on the one hand it is beyond dispute that all action binds, on the other hand, it is equally true that all living beings have to do some work, whether they will or not. Here, all activity, whether mental or physical, is to be included in the term action. Then how is one to be free from the bondage of action, even though he may be acting? The manner in which the Gita has solved the problem is, to my knowledge, unique. The Gita says, do your allotted work, but renounce its fruit. Be detached and work. have no desire for reward and work. This is the unmistakable teaching of the Gita. He who gives up action falls. He who gives up only the reward rises. But renunciation of fruit in no way means indifference to the result. In regard to every action, one must know the result that is expected to follow, the means thereto, and the capacity for it. He who, being thus equipped, is without desire for the result and is yet wholly engrossed in the due fulfillment of the task before him, is said to have renounced the fruits of his action. Again, let no one consider renunciation to mean want of fruit for the renouncer. The Gita reading does not warrant such a meaning. Renunciation means the absence of hankering after fruit. As a matter of fact, he who renounces reaps 1,000-fold. The renunciation of the Gita is the acid test of faith. He who is ever brooding over the result often loses nerve in the performance of his duty. He becomes impatient and then gives vent to anger and begins to do unworthy things. He jumps from action to action, never remaining faithful to any. He who broods over results is like a man given to objects of senses. He is ever distracted. He says goodbye to all scruples. Everything is right in his estimation, and he, therefore, resorts to means fair and foul to attain his end. From the bitter experiences of desire for fruit, the author of the Gita discovered the path of renunciation of fruit and put it before the world in a most convincing manner. The common belief is that religion is always opposed to material good. In my opinion, the author of the Gita has dispelled this delusion. He has drawn no line of demarcation between salvation and worldly pursuits. On the contrary, he has shown that religion must rule even our worldly pursuits. I have felt that the Gita teaches us that what cannot be followed out in day-to-day practice cannot be called religion. Thus, according to the Gita, all acts that are incapable of being performed without attachment are taboo. This golden rule saves mankind from many a pitfall. According to this interpretation, murder, lying, dissoluteness, and the like must be regarded as sinful and therefore taboo. Man's life then becomes simple, and from that simpleness springs peace. Thinking along these lines, I have felt that in trying to enforce in one's life the central teaching of the Gita, one is bound to follow truth and ahimsa, or non-violence. When there is no desire for fruit, there is no temptation for untruth or himsa, or violence. Take any instance of untruth or violence, and it will be found that at its back was the desire to attain the cherished or selfish end. But if the Gita believed in ahimsa, or it was included in desirelessness, why did the author take a warlike illustration? When the Gita was written, although people believed in ahimsa, wars were not only not taboo, but nobody observed the contradiction between them and ahimsa. After 40 years of unremitting endeavor to fully enforce the teaching of the Gita in my own life, I have, in all humility, felt that perfect renunciation is impossible without perfect observance of ahimsa in every shape and form. The Gita is not an aphoristic work. It is a great religious poem. The deeper you dive into it, the richer the meanings you get. It being meant for the people at large, there is pleasing repetition. With every age, important words will carry new and expanding meanings, but its central teaching will never vary. The seeker is at liberty to extract from this treasure any meaning he likes, so as to enable him to enforce in his life the central teaching. Nor is the Gita a collection of do's and don'ts. What is lawful for one may be unlawful for another. What may be permissible at one time or in one place may not be so at another time and in another place. The desire for fruit is the only universal prohibition. Desirelessness is obligatory. The Gita has sung the praises of knowledge, but it is beyond the mere intellect. It is essentially addressed to the heart and capable of being understood by the heart. Therefore, the Gita is not for those who have no faith. The author makes Krishna say, "Do not entrust this treasure to him who is without sacrifice, without devotion, without the desire for this teaching, and who denies me." On the other hand, those who will give this precious treasure to my devotees will, by the fact of the service, assuredly reach me. And those who, being free from malice, will with faith absorb this teaching, shall, having attained freedom, live where people of true merit go after death. For more information, please visit comprehensive website by Gandhian institutions, Bombay Sarvodaya Mandal and Gandhi Research Foundation, or mkgandhi.org.